Okie dokie, everybody. We're live. We're making the stuff happen. It's my show called 6 Feet From Stardom. Goes a little something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right, everybody. This is 6 Feet From Stardom, the only show in Toronto that I'm aware of that happens in a Grateful Dead garage and that has a different Toronto special guest every week. Talk about their lives, talk about their pandemic struggles, and more importantly, play a little bit of their music. Yeah, I like that. And this week, we have a very, very special guest, a man I know intimately. If you're a fan of my band JV's Boogaloo Squad, for example, the song we're playing right now, our theme song, well, he's a member of JV's Boogaloo Squad. He's also a singer-songwriter and a guitarist in his own right as well. He does things outside of my band. Things that I would argue are maybe even better than JV's Boogaloo Squad. But I'll leave that for the critics and the public to decide. Anyways, you probably know who I'm talking about at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest this week is Adam Beer-Colacino. Adam Beer-Colacino, everybody. Adam's gonna do some social media sharing now.
Oh yeah, that's half the game these days,
Half
right?
the game. Everyone who just tuned in without needing to see a post from Adam will just have to wait.
Yeah. How do I do that? I don't even have the app on my phone. Oy vey. 1 second. If I can't do this in 2 minutes, I'm gonna stop. That's kind of.
I'll just let everyone know now. You can look down below and see our virtual tip link. We are going to be doing this for some tips, so get it out of the way. Don't spend the whole show thinking, right, I got a tip later. Just do it now. And then you can just watch the show with a clear mind and a clear conscience, But, don't let me tell you how to live your life.
We're good.
All right.
Let's get on airplane mode, too. Pro tip. Oh, there we go.
All right, welcome, dude.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back in Lonnie's garage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were doing this kind of regularly. I started by doing a weekly JV's Boogaloo Squad thing in here, and then we went into pretty hardcore lockdown.
I moved out of town pretty much. I was practically moved to Scarborough.
I mean, the main thing that changed our regular gig here was that you moved to the East End.
I know.
And it was no longer feasible for me to pick you up every week.
Exactly. With the way things are, wasn't biting at the bullet to jump on the TTC anytime soon.
For those of you not from Toronto, there's a real east-west divide. People who move out to the East End, it kind of feels like you lost your friends a little bit, and you're never going to see them again.
I think that's silly. I don't even I technically am not even in the belly of the beast. I live at Pape and Danforth. That's practically downtown.
You're east of the You're east of the DVP.
Oh yeah, that I am.
That's a line in the sand for me. But I know I've been out to your place once or twice. It's nice.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
So I'm going to talk to you as if I don't know things about you for the sake of our audience.
We haven't been playing with each other for 11, 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. We've known each other a long time. We've been in several different projects together. But the first thing I usually ask people on the show is I just kind of want to know what everyone's pandemic experience has been like. So we've been, 15, 16 months in.
Only 15?
No, it's more than that at this point, isn't it? It's probably more like a year and a half.
Who knows?
but we're starting to come out of it now, hopefully. But yeah, I guess what has been your way of getting through it?
I mean, multiple things. It's kind of been, it's gone through waves with me. Oh yeah, on the mic. Sorry, I spent so much of my life as a singer being told not to eat the mic. I used to sing in a harmony band, and when I'm on the mic like that, it was never.
I want those like podcast like low frequencies.
Ooh, okay. Well, I've been doing a lot of DMT. No, I've been cooking a lot. I've been getting into that. There was a period where I wrote a lot. Like everyone, I did the recording thing for a bit. I think it was finding, just different things. I found it really hard to commit to a long-term thing, just because the state of the world and the state of the pandemic. Like anytime I try to get a long-term project going, I get really excited about it, and it was really hard to get excited about things. So it was kind of just like, little things here and there. I definitely had a burst of inspiration and wrote a bunch of music that I'm hopefully going to be recording soon. Mm-hmm. Spent a lot of time with my Dutch oven, made a lot of stews.
Right.
Got into slow cooking stuff. Yeah, all sorts of stuff,
Yeah, I think I had a nice chili at your place.
Oh yeah, I've definitely perfected a few recipes over this time. Mm-hmm. But other than that, just kind of waiting for it, man. Like it's because I've got a tricky situation at home with my partner, and she's an immunosuppressed person. So
right.
I kind of had to take a few more. There was some risks I couldn't be taking during the time when music was starting to come back and all that, and even just like with the shows in the garage, the case count was getting so high. But it's like you've kind of spend a lot of time with yourself. Being in the East End has been amazing. I've gotten just like there's so many amazing like places to walk to. Like I spend a lot of time walking on the Dawn trails and exploring that part of the world, because it's a new neighborhood, and it's just like there's so much we can discover the wonders of nature. It's great.
Yeah, I think we've all gained an appreciation for our city in different ways that we didn't have before, for sure.
Big time.
We've all explored a lot of little walking trails we didn't know about. Like for me and my partner, it's been like especially in the early COVID, it was a lot of just like driving somewhere kind of 45 minutes away, like seeing these different like conservation areas and things like that.
You really gain an appreciation for that when you're when you're in, when you're stuck in all this, and you're stuck in this, it's like you're either at home and you're staring at your phone, and social media is full of stuff bumming you out. You turn on the TV, everything's kind of just like a bummer, and you're kind of trapped in that, and just like getting just 45 minutes out of the city into some fresh air and not even hearing traffic. I don't want to be one of those guys. You got to come to the East End, but that's like one of the things I really, really love about being out there is like I'm a 30-minute walk away from serenity. Like I go to the Dawn trails, I can walk down to the Leslie Spit, and then kind of just have some time to myself and just being away from everything and trying to shut my brain off.
I think there's a lot of similarities between the East End and where I used to live at Jane and Bloor. Like, you're out so far that, like, no one is coming to visit you, and that kind of sucks. But you're also, like, far enough away that, you can walk to places where it doesn't feel like you're in a metropolis.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to believe sometimes you're 45 minutes from downtown. Like, when you got the Humber River out there. There's a rolling river.
I always say that the East End is amazing. It's, like, maybe the best part of Toronto, except that it's in the East End.
Yeah, I mean, I still am not, like, it's weird for me because when this pandemic hit, like we were looking for an apartment. We were on the house hunt. We didn't move to the East End. We moved to another apartment and moved again, but we're not going to talk about that now. But I've always wanted to live in the East End. Like I went to Rosedale. I love that. I love that part of the world.
You kind of feel like a East Toronto guy to me. Like, I feel like you, like, when I think about, like, you back in the Humber days, like, I kind of put you in that group with all those other guys.
I think it's the
like,
Rosedale.
Kyle Sullivan and, I don't know, like, Jim O'Brien.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jim's a Rosedale guy. I mean, a lot of us came out of Rosedale, too.
I think that's what it is like, I didn't go to high school here, so I don't know, like, the high school dynamics. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, I only went to Rosedale for a year, though, so I never got to soak that up. But, I mean, I did spend time out there. And, like, when this all happened, like, I had a chunk of gigs too out there. Like there was bars that I was playing at regularly out there, like Sauce, like that. I had a regular gig on Wednesday night, so it was kind of one of those things. It's just like when the opportunity came out to move that way, I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna be like, when things come back, and hopefully if things stay similar to before, I'm like, I'm not gonna be really much further away from gigs than I was in the West End. Like it's like I guess I'm further away from friends, but. Yeah, the proximity to work, because there's a lot of, there are bars and there's gigs out there. There's
you have a bit of a longer trek to the Cameron, I guess. And,
Uber ride, though, I mean, like, if you jump, it's like, it's because you just hop on the highway and you're right there, it's closer than you think.
That's true. It's worth it for the cheap rent, the nice grocery stores.
Yeah, and the Indian food.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've just discovered, like, Little Indian food, and it's just the best. It's so good.
Yeah, Toronto's a great city, everybody. Come when the border lifts. If you don't live here, come visit. It's
and if you can afford it, live here.
Yeah, exactly. If you have like a tech job or wealthy parents or something, consider buying a condo or a house and maybe.
I mean, a tech job and wealthy parents might be able to get you one of the more affordable ones.
Maybe even buy a house and rent the basement to a musician for cheap, for below market value.
One can dream.
Yeah,
one can dream.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, man. I mean, so I think it's cool. Like, I think it's kind of cool that there's some people like you who are just saying, like, pretty much you're kind of just saying, I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have the privilege to wait. Like, I'm getting served. Yeah. Like, I'm getting served and my partner has a job.
As like, a lot of us are, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's just like, I'm so fortunate that I have that luxury, because I don't know what, I mean, I would just have to be working a 9-to-5 job and probably separating with like my partner. I don't know what we would do in this situation. But like, there are people doing that out there, which is, which is crazy. Like, I'm so fortunate that I have, I know I have the luxury to wait, so I'm gonna, might as well just take it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very grateful for that.
Yeah, and we were just talking before we started this about kind of what we think might be happening soon. And like, you were someone who kind of played the bars in Toronto quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we're kind of banking on a bit of a bar band renaissance.
Fingers crossed.
I do think, like, I mean, restaurants have been shut down for a long time too, and I'm definitely hoping, like, we can sort of see each other's plights, and there's going to be a bit of like restaurants wanting to have more music and help the musicians out, and musicians wanting to help kind of bring people back into the restaurants. And
totally. Yeah, and I think restaurants. I mean, restaurants are going to see it as a good opportunity. Like, I think people are really, really craving music right now, and I think that's going to be a huge, good music. I mean, that's with good music you have to pay for it. So it's. I think if restaurants start, dig deep into it, I think it's going to be a really good, it's going to be a booming thing. I think everyone's going to kind of be able to help each other out like that.
I kind of hope they just keep all these sort of like tables that are in the streets now and stuff. I hope all that stuff stays, and just throw bands on the streets and like.
Yeah, I mean, get the power running out of a store or something. I mean, like, it's busking, but I mean, it's something, and it's one of those things that is just like, people are missing it, are starved for it so much right now. It's like, even like you see, I do these live stream concerts, and just seeing how people respond, and I'm just sitting in my living room playing guitar. This is literally like the smallest fraction of the product you get live when you come to see me. But this is still like, you're still craving it. It's just like this morsel, and I'm craving it too.
Yeah, like, I've been busking a bit, and people, the response is very positive in a city that I feel like used to not care for. I've
busked before, and it is demoralizing. Like, people don't want you to exist. It is not an easy thing to do. I don't think I could do it again. Like, it's hard work.
I've been really enjoying it, like, in the pandemic, just because I think people are appreciative of it.
And I guess so.
And I also, like, I've just been going, like, me and a bass player, like Mark Godfrey and I have just been going out and, like, playing what we want to play. And, like, I mean, the nice thing about busking is that you kind of just get to do what you want to do on your own terms. And I mean, people are going to tip you or they're not, right? It's like, Whereas a lot of times when you play the bars, like you have a certain responsibility to maybe like play songs that are going to work and that are going to, you know,
I mean,
that are going to appeal to the tourist crowd or whatever it is.
I would argue, like, in a lot of situations, like, you know, your earnings depend on that. Like, if you, you know, if you're playing a tip jar night, which, you know, most bar gigs have kind of become in Toronto, you know, they're you know, that's kind of the nature of the game. But it's like your performance and how you're interacting with the crowd and what you're playing to them is gonna, like, you know, that's the difference between $120 and $60, and it's just like, you know, and that's so a lot of the times it's like you know you're gonna have to do something, you know, play stuff you don't want to play, but it's just like it's what they want to hear. Yeah. But now I think people just want to hear music.
Yeah, now people are just stoked to be like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like,
it's like you're gonna do something, you know. I mean, it's still got to be good, but it's like I think that's the thing. It's like good music is really gonna shine through now.
Yeah, I often felt that way on bar gigs, like pre-COVID. I often just felt like, I think if we just play good music, people will have fun. Like, I don't think we need to only play songs that, like, lowest common denominator everyone knows.
That's always been my attitude. I mean, mainly because I don't want to learn any of those songs and I can't sing any of those songs. Like, I play the music I like, and I, you know, it's like this, you know, songs function differently. Like, songs have functions, and it's like Shake It Off could have the exact same function and effect on people as this, like, you know, dope Paul Pena deep cut, but like they don't know it because they haven't heard the Paul Pena one, and so it's like I feel like, you know, a good band, you know, it's your curators. Like you know, you just play good music and play it well, and I think people are gonna respond to it regardless.
For sure, yeah. Like not everything needs to be like nostalgia porn, you know.
No, I mean, like I've always, you know, when I've played in like packed bars, I'm like I don't look at myself as like a top 40 guy, or even like with like the soul and R&B stuff, like, you know, I'm usually kind of playing off the cusp music, and it's like people don't care as long as you're like genuine and you're giving it, you know, you're not phoning it in, like.
Yeah, and I think if you have a few of those in your back pocket, just so like if someone comes up to you and says like, "Can you play My Girl?" Like you can just be like, "Sure, I'll play My Girl." Like, exactly. You know.
Then that's the show. You got to do it all.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, have some water, man. Yeah. Don't want anyone to, you know, we like to keep everyone comfortable here in the space.
This is the most comfortable I've been outside of my house probably in 15 months. This is like the penalty box here. I feel so, like I've literally haven't taken my mask off indoors anywhere.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Like this is like, because this is safe. This is great. Like Lonnie, you know, you guys have like, this is what every gig in Toronto should be like for the next little bit. You know, it's like I don't love it. Like it's not fun playing behind plexiglass, but I mean, it's, you know, this is how it should be.
Yeah, it'd be nice for sure, especially while the pandemic is kind of ongoing, you know.
Totally.
Because I think people do need to remember, like, I feel like a lot of people are getting to this point now where they're like, oh, everyone I know has had both their shots. Like we've all had both our shots, but it's like, you know, you live with a vulnerable person. Yeah,
there's a lot of vulnerable people.
And there's a lot of people like that around who, like, you know, just because you've had your 2 shots, like, you know, you could still pose a serious risk to someone that without you realizing it.
Big time. And it's but it's like at the end of like my partner has, you know, many specialized doctors, but you know, she's got one doctor that we consult with for this kind of stuff. And we called her up the other day and we asked her, it's like, so what can I start doing? You know, what's safe? And she's like, well, as long as the venues like are following public safety, you know, all that, you know, it's like, it's fine, but they have to, and it's just like, it's kind of like the Wild West with that kind of thing. Like, so it's like, it's really nice coming to a thing like this and just having all this stuff. Cause it's like, it's, you know, it's, I think performing with a mask on isn't really a task, and singing with a mask on isn't the biggest task, but obviously we prefer not to. And like in a situation like this, it's like, I can do that because the measures are being taken. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, it's like hopefully we can see a lot of this coming out in, you know, in the bars when they start opening up.
Yeah, and I hope people. I mean, I don't know how much hope to have for this, but I hope patrons of live music will change some of their ways from before the pandemic, if I can say that. Like, like, you know, maybe you don't go up and start yelling in the face of someone who's currently singing. Like,
well, I mean, like, I wonder how much. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be shunned on more. It's gonna be, it's one of those things. If someone jumps up on stage and it's like they're kind of cheered, and I feel like more people are gonna be like, ooh, who's that? It's gonna be like someone not wearing a mask at a grocery store.
The problem is just alcohol, though. Like,
yeah.
Like, I remember I played a wedding last summer in the kind of like almost sort of like COVID interstitial that happened last summer, where like we didn't have vaccines, but like case numbers were really low, and we're playing some wedding at someone's mansion somewhere north of the city, you know, and like we're playing the second set, and these ladies have been into the wine and whatever, and they just came right up on stage and like wanted to like dance next to our singer and whatever, and like we're going like, nope, get off the stage, and they're not listening. We had to just stop playing. Like, wow. We just like, we're like, okay, like we're gonna stop.
Well, I mean, good.
We're stopping all of the music because you're not listening to us. And then finally it was like, once like the drums and everything had stopped, like they slowly went like, oh.
We're in a pandemic. So.
They're like, oh, right. Oh, you guys are really good about the rules. We're like, yeah, you're not.
Yeah, totally. I mean, good for you guys for stopping it. Like, I feel like that's, you know, it's like, I think it's a lot of it's in our hands. It's like, if it's calling it, you know, when we see it. And I think it's kind of like we're all keeping the community safe by doing that. If everyone kind of agrees to be like, all right, we're not going to like go to these weddings and, you know, let people jump up on stage and set this precedent already.
It's just like one of the many ways that I've been thinking lately that like having a universal basic income makes everyone's lives better. Like, obviously the obvious one is like, people being able to pay for living expenses, but like the things I've really noticed, because by being on government assistance throughout this pandemic, we're essentially in a sort of like universal basic income trial. And the thing that I noticed is like just knowing I have like that absolute bare bones baseline coming in means that I'm less worried in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Like I just need that gig that much less that I can like have some self-respect on the gig.
Totally.
You know? And be like, nope, like that's not acceptable, and we're not going to play until you get off the stage. Like,
100%. Like, I think we're, you know, it's a big step, and I mean, hopefully it sticks around or something. Because it's
just keep it going.
Yeah,
and everyone is just going to be happier and more productive. Yeah. I know I've been more productive. Like, you know, I've like been mixing albums and starting new projects and doing this thing. And
well, like, I feel like with you, especially, pardon me, especially artists and people, you know, people like us, we're gonna have the luxury to kind of pursue things we want more, and we're gonna be able to create more and put out more into the world like that because we're not so bogged down with so much other stuff. Yeah, and I think in turns it's gonna, you know, it's gonna because you know in Toronto it's like. You know, there is a lot of the gigs belong to people who are playing, you know, guys like you or me are playing like 5-6 nights a week. And there's a lot of people like that. And I think, you know, if something like UBI comes in, those, you know, there's going to be more gigs are going to open up for people because, you know, we won't have to play 5 nights a week. Yeah. You know, you know, because it's like.
There'll be more work to go around because there'll be people who can be like, you know what, I kind of would rather go to my kid's soccer game. Yeah. Or like, you know.
Oh my God, to have that luxury too. To like walk. I was just talking to like my partner about it because, you know, first gig of the year obviously is falling on Shabbat dinner with the grandparents and everything. So it's just like, I'm like, well, I'm just like, I'm sorry, like this is you might have to like we met each other when I was like, I had just come off of like probably my most prosperous summer as a musician. Like I worked really hard. I was playing a lot, and I was playing a lot through that, and so I had a little bit of luxury to be like, oh, I can go to, you know, a family thing. I was able to turn things down. You know, she's never, you know, there's been times where I haven't had that luxury, and I think now coming up, it's like I was just like, oh, you know. I'm going to be missing a lot of stuff. Like we were trying to plan a camping trip for August, and I'm just like, well, I have this, and it's like, and if stuff comes up, like I don't have a choice right now. Like this is going to be, you know, it's a pretty crucial time.
I've definitely, it's interesting for me because my partner we didn't have a lot of my normal life time, right? Like the pandemic started probably like 6 months into our relationship, maybe. And we've been together almost 2 years now. And so, like, I keep kind of saying, like, you know, it might be a bit shocking when I'm back to my old life again. Because you've had a year and a half of basically, like, unfettered access to my time. You know?
I'm sure she's not going to be too upset about that. I know my partner's not gonna be. She is like so excited for that. I don't blame her. Like I'm around all the time.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think she's gonna miss me. She's just gonna miss the access to my, totally. To like, I want to go somewhere or do something.
The luxury of
like me being there is almost like a byproduct of it's like a barely acceptable byproduct of just the fact that like it's more about us doing stuff.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, it's been the same with me. There's been a couple like camping trips that I've been like, well, I just got this call, and
yeah, there's the holds are gonna start coming in, and there's gonna be I think with us there's gonna be a lot of tentative things. Yeah. So partners and musicians, cut your partner a little bit of slack right now. This is, I think the next 3-4 months we're gonna probably be at our flakiest. She's been very cool though. Like she understands that I just want to take every gig right now, and well, just for our mental health too. Yeah. Like there's the money and everything, but it's like we're just like getting our chops back and playing music again, having a purpose. Just getting back into shape, and like it's amazing the stuff that I'm like so excited to do now that like I like would have like complained about having to do 100%. Yeah. 2 years ago. There is so many. I'm saying yes to so much more. I think than I would have ever. Yeah. So if anyone's watching and thinking of hiring me and wondering if I would say yes, I would. Same here. And I'll say yes for $10 less. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, I'll do it. Begin. And I'll do it for cheaper than whatever you were thinking. No, that's not true. Pay me well. $10 more, please. But yeah, speaking of playing, I think maybe it's time to transition into the second half of the show. Let's get Jeff and Rich back in here, and I'll do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're just tuning in now, I would like to remind you that the show you're about to see and that you've been watching is being put on for virtual tips, your virtual tips. So if you got some extra dough and you don't mind sharing it with us, check out the link below. You can see it down in the comment section. There should be lots of links to, toss us a few bucks. As well, if anyone out there is watching, I do a question period kind of towards the end of the show. So think of maybe a question you might have for Adam, about his songwriting, about his heritage, his pandemic experience. The fact that there's like two. What was the joke? My friend Curtis made a joke. He's like two drinks in the name. No, he's like why is Adam's last name's 2.5 beverages? Which I like that. That's a pretty good joke. Oh, yeah. This is a good spot. Most people don't catch the cappuccino part. Yeah. Right, well, what do you want to play? Why don't we start with one of yours? Okay, cool. Either one. How about Young Love? Sure. Did we ever play this song live? I can't remember if I wrote it. Like, I feel like we might. I think we did. Because I remember playing it, but maybe I just remember making the demo. Yeah, it might have been like because this was one I wrote right before the beginning and all this, and feels like yesterday. All right, I'll start her off. Let's just right into it. Young love feels like a night in June under the stars and moon shines so bright. It's been so hard to get away back to that lovely day when we first kissed. windowsill, warm as a mother's milk, felt so close. I reached out for your open hand, so you can let me be your man one more time. But as we try to see it through, we always knew that all along it couldn't be anything more than it was before. Though we delayed it, battered, torn, and frayed, must be nothing more than young And as we try to see it through, we always knew that all along it couldn't be anything more than it was before. I know we delayed it, battered and torn and frayed, it must be nothing more than young love. Must be nothing more than young love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Must be nothing more than young love. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That was a song Adam wrote called Young Love. What's that about? It's about
But,
being in a relationship for a while and things kind of getting...
well, and yeah,
Getting a little humdrum?
on the surface of that, it's one of those things. I think being a musician and working in bars, you see so many people on first dates. You see so many people in so many different stages of relationships,
Right.
and you get to kind of just like watch from afar. And it's one of those things you just see. It's just like you can tell. You can almost tell, like you see it. So it's one of those like emotions that it's such a strong thing. Like the first month of a relationship with someone you love, it's like this like unbelievable feeling. But sometimes you can kind of that judgment can get a little bit clouded by that.
For sure.
And
yeah.
they're,
You don't even really know that person.
Exactly.
You're in love with an idea.
It's
at that
just
point.
infatuation,
Yeah.
That's.
I liked. That's a good point about seeing all the different stages of courtship.
Like at the Rex.
Oh man.
At the Rex, it's just
how about the Reservoir Lounge? I think I've seen a
Yeah.
couple marriages last week.
Yeah, I have.
That's the Reservoir.
I've seen some different stages of courtship at the Reservoir Lounge.
One of my favorite just glimpse into a real rough marriage was a gig at the Old Mill, and it was some jazz night where there was a different concert happening in 20 different rooms at the Old Mill. And it was kind of you could pay a ticket and walk
Tom
around.
Cochran there.
Yeah,
I was called for a gig with the I was told that I wouldn't make much, but there was a chance I can meet Tom Cochran.
I remember Tom Cochran was playing when I got there, and it was like he was doing like a solo acoustic version of Big League.
Ooh.
And I was like, I can't believe I walked in like the moment. It was like, my boy's gonna play in the big leagues. Oh, so good. Anyways, I just remember I was like walking from one room to the next, and there was like a older married couple like up ahead, and the husband was like, oh, do you want to go into this room? And she was like, if you want, it's your big night.
Ooh. Oof.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh man, that sounds rough.
Oh, it's like something out of like a, I don't know, like a cringy TV show, like a British Office or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great.
Sounds rough. Should we play another tune?
Yeah, shifting gears. Let's do. No, let's do another one because the boogaloo stuff. I'm gonna tell Rich to get lost. So.
Yeah. Oh, we're not gonna. That's why I brought a Strat. I thought we were gonna get into some like Wolfpacky
You
stuff.
want to? Well, we could. You know a couple of them.
I mean, if you, I'm down. Little
All right.
Jerry and Bobby, you know.
Adam, you're the guest, man. Whatever you say goes. So let's do it.
You guys know Joe's Garage? No.
Oh, you're in the garage.
Which let's play. Actually, I know what we should do. Let's play. I suppose it is.
Okay.
You think you still got it? I can play the head if you don't.
Okay, yeah. How about that? That's a good idea.
Yeah, and Rich, you don't know this song, but it's basically just E, and then there's like another part that happens sometimes on cue. I think this one will lend itself to like.
Yeah, I think you played it.
No, we played it the week he wasn't there. Yeah, the power failure week. You guys remember the power failure week? It was the best week, man. We blew the fuse with our jams, man.
Nice.
All right. So anyways, some of you might know there's a band called JV's Boogaloo Squad. I'm JV in that band, and Jeff and Adam play in that band, and we're a trio. But we're gonna be a quartet this evening with Rich Grossman, who's also like subbed into the band many times. So
he knows the gig.
he knows the gig. Anyways, this is a song called "I Suppose It Is." I think Lonnie, this is your favorite Boogaloo Squad song, isn't it?
It's one of the big jams on the record. It was one of those. I feel like we kind of like weren't thinking of like it being on the record when we were playing it. We were just kind of going for it in the studio, and I love the moments that energy creates. Yeah,
it's really our. What's that song on the B-side of "In the Court of the Crimson King"? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's just like a super long, weird jam. Anyways, I'm not. I don't have the most relatable references today. These people don't know that I'm jamming. They think I'm available for texts. All right, that was fun. I like playing that song. Yeah, we haven't played boogaloo music
It's like riding a bike, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like riding a bike.
And Rich is like the training wheels.
Totally. You can take me off if you want.
I don't
No.
know. It's just like, I don't know. It's
When I-
easier with training wheels on.
Yeah, it's just easier to ride, less chance of falling over.
You can just cruise.
I don't know about you guys. I was like that kid whose training wheels stayed on for like a lot longer than other kids.
Same here.
My fun fact about me: my little sister's training wheels came off before mine. Yeah, yeah,
Fact. Made it fun. Just fact.
yeah. For me, it's actually not a. It's an what's the opposite of
Sound
fun?
too
Unfun.
It's an unfun fact. But I thought it might be fun for someone else who,
I'm having a lot of fun with
you
that.
know,
having a lot of fun with it.
enjoys knowing unfun facts about me. Yeah, that was great. So let's just keep it rolling here.
How
Let's
about
play. What were we gonna say?
When the circus comes.
That's
to
what I
town?
was gonna suggest also.
Nice. So
This-
another song that I think I played on one. I learned this song from my last gig before the pandemic,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna play this song." It's because I was really feeling it.
Did we do it at like one of those like Saturdays at the Rex or something?
No, I did it at the Dora-Kio. My last gig was a trio gig at the Dora-Kio.
That's a pretty cool last gig.
Well, I played my regular Wednesday and then after, but my last gig, it was a trio at the Dora-Kio. My
Right.
first gig back will be at the Dora-Kio as
Whoa.
well, which is
Full
Nice.
circle with the Dora-Kio.
love the Dora-Kio.
My last gig was at the Weed Chief, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make that one happen.
Oh yeah, they're not doing the patio thing, eh?
I actually have no idea.
Who knows? I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll be back and at it soon. But yeah, this song I was really feeling it, and I think we closed the night with it. Who knew what kind of circus was coming to town? Oh my gosh.
That's true. This is my favorite. This is probably my favorite song that Fish covers, but that's not a Fish song. I'm always like when we're playing with the Lizards, I'm always like, Rich, can we please, can we play when the circus comes? So, anyways, here it is, sung by Adam.
Song by the Los Lobos. Not a Fish song.
It's kind of a Fish song too.
I guess so.
It's not at all.
I could have had a chance to get out of this wreck. From the time you came to the day you left, could have had a chance. Could have had a chance. Never thought I would make it this far. With a dent in my soul and a hole in my heart, I never thought I could. Never thought I could. When the lights are turning round, wheels are rolling on the ground. Day I burn this whole place down, and the circus comes to town. Left your name carved on that tree. didn't need them hush. And when the lights are turning around, wheels are rolling on the ground. Day after this whole place down. When the circus comes to town, when the circus comes. Right, back to the one.
Wasn't sure.
Me neither.
Just made the call.
How is all like the heads up hockey gonna be going on in masks? Like, how are we gonna do that? Like, can you tell him telling you to go to the floor right now? Like, it's just like.
Well, for me on keys, I've always had the luxury of usually being able to get one hand free.
Nice.
And going like bridge.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm kind of like even like head gestures, and I feel like without with the mask on, maybe I'll get a clear one.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe we just keep getting these jabs, and
Yeah, and then
maybe
it's gonna. God, amazing! It would be amazing.
maybe we just get to like 0 active cases, and then we take these guys off.
Let's do it, man.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then everyone can see our great mustaches.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah. There's been some interesting hair and beard experiments out there in the world.
Well, now's the time, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really have to be anywhere. It's not like if I've done a few mustache experiments over that if like band leaders saw me pull up like that, they're just like, no, this is a wedding, man. Like, come on, like that's like worse than shorts.
Yeah.
But now it's just my girlfriend who has to deal with it.
Yeah, I didn't make any COVID changes to my appearance other than, well, a little bit of this. But
You gotta do go back to the Walter Becker, man.
yeah.
Bring it back.
I could. The problem is I don't grow a nice bushy mustache. That was the one thing that like wasn't legit about my Walter Becker costume. You know?
A prepubescent Walter Becker.
Yeah. I looked like a Walter Becker who had less testosterone, I guess.
That's and then he didn't have a lot to begin with.
Yeah, no, it's really saying something. Oy. Great songwriter though.
Very good guitar player too.
Yeah.
Want to play another original tune? Or?
Yeah, let's do. Yeah,
Sweet Pea.
no, let's do that. This is one we definitely did a few times at the Cameron. I remember.
Oh yeah, this is one of those original songs you almost write to be played live. It's one of it's like I feel like being kind of almost a curse sometimes being a songwriter, but also like being a gigging musician and being someone who's got to use this music to earn a living. Not I'm using it to earn a living live. Like I'm not making SoCan royalties or anything like that yet. To the extent where it's giving me a living. So it's like when I'm writing songs, sometimes I'm thinking it's like, man, is this song just gonna like hit?
Right.
On a 3-setter, and this is gonna keep people in the room.
Ultimately, I would guess it's good for your songwriting to have that perspective. But yeah, you and I both talked about the kind of struggle of being a sideman, gigging musician, and also trying to have like an artist career going and trying to balance those two things.
Yeah, I try my hardest when I'm writing to like separate them. It's
Right.
one of those things that it's like I really try, and it doesn't always happen because it's like you're always hustling, but like I try to be like try not to think of like of this song in a situation like in at work. I try not to think of this song. It's like, how is this going to sound at the Rex? How is this going to sound at the Cameron? I try to be like, how's this song going to sound?
Right.
However, this one was just like, this is going to be a set closer for set 2 on most nights.
And I guess you should write the song for the gig you want to have, not the gig you have.
Right?
How's this gonna sound at the Rivoli? That's what we should do.
Wow. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves there. That's kind of a big deal there. I need to.
We'd have to get a press kit together first.
Yeah, right. That's gonna happen. I've had 15 months to do that. I haven't done it. It's not gonna happen.
Still don't have a press kit.
Yeah, don't have a press kit. Don't even have a demo. All right, here's a song called Sweet Pea.
till I had it slip away. I break down and I can't take it when you look the other way. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Truly, truly, was a matter of time. This is stuck right up on me, and I hold out day by day, but it's getting hard to believe she'll be coming back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Ooh, baby, what you trying to do? I thought we were good, I thought we were cool. Even if you never come back, I'll always be here. Let's bring it down. All I had was a memory, and good love was plain to see. So bring your love back to me. All I had was a memory, good love plain to see. Come on, come on, come on, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Sweet pea, baby, bring your love back to me. Baby, bring your love back to me. I said I should, baby, bring your love back to me. That's why. Oh, baby, bring your love back. Gonna bring it back to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's
right.
Sweet Pea. I love that song, man.
Yeah, it's a fun song. You know what? The first time I ever played it live, closed the second set with it, and Charles James was playing bass. He comes up to me, he's like, "Oh man, I've been needing to take a Sweet Pea all set," and I'm like, "It's this." And from then on, I'm like, I cannot not close the set with this. 'Cause now that's what I think of it. It's amazing because that's, you know, it's like you close the set and that's what you do. You have a Sweet Pea. Get that out of your head. Sorry, I just ruined my song for everyone.
It's okay. Yeah, I really liked that one. I can't remember. There was one tune where we were like playing at the camera, and I think it was either that or your song Sweet Sheba.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was one of the sweets.
Yeah. There's lots of sweetness in my life.
And like there was a guy in the crowd who like he was quite upset that that song doesn't exist on a record yet.
Yeah. I remember that. He was just like...
But he was like, I need that in my ride to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, 2 years later, still doesn't.
still doesn't. Well, hopefully we gotta do something about that.
Yeah, you know what, man? I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be happening end of August. But it's like it's one of those things that it's just like I'm still in pandemic mode with everything. It's like I'm not holding out. But it's one of those things I want to do before I get busy. Because every time I try to make a record, I get busy.
Yeah.
Like it's just when it's like I'm not gonna have the time to do it in a couple months probably.
And like making a record in today's day and age and the state of the music industry and whatever, it's an expensive thing to do, and it's like it can be a very like thankless thing, like
Totally.
process. It's so much work. If you don't know how much work it is to make a record, and you think you know, it's more.
Well, it's just because it's so expensive. Like making how do I say this without sounding snarky or like an asshole? Like, all the records we love were made a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
They were made, there was a certain process, and bands had a certain luxury in the studio to kind of, not just be like sweating it out, trying to nail takes and all that. I mean, that definitely happened, but I feel like so much of so now making a record is not even an enjoyable process half the time. Like, it's just like, it's a 12-hour day.
And you've got to get 10 songs done. Or something.
Yeah, you're trying to recreate these performances. Like I got a guy producing it, and what I like about he was telling me, he's like, I don't want to we're not gonna have rehearsals, and I'm gonna come and take notes and all that stuff. And I'm like, thank you, because like that, it's such a hard process. Like, because you have like the 4, 5, 6 rehearsals with the producer for the artist's record, and you take notes and you have these performances that you have to nail, and then like a month later you're in the studio and you're like, oh, that magic's not coming back. Like, you made the magic there. And so like what I'm doing, I'm gonna try to like haul up for a week, and like no rehearsals or anything like that, and just kind of like try to let it happen a little more organically. And I mean, but that doing it that way costs way more money. Like that's what it like we do that. We do records like that mad dash because we can't afford to like spend more than 2 days in the studio.
We have to go to like cottages and make albums now if you want that vibe of like we all just hung out and made a record over many days, because none of us could afford to rent a nice pro studio for
I'm going in like
a week or 2 weeks.
Is the savings dump for me.
Yeah.
But it's like that's the way I want to make a record. Like I can't, like I wouldn't want, it's so, I don't want to like have one of those like, oh, did we get the take? I think we did. I don't even want to think about it because that was like a 14-hour day. Like I don't, it's not, it's not, well, I loved making the first Boogaloo Squad record. Like the second one was fun too, but the first one, it was just like, we just went into that studio for a day, chilled.
Well, we weren't even we didn't even go into the studio thinking we're making a record.
Yeah.
It only became a record because we listened to it after and we're like, that's pretty good. Do you want to like press this?
Yeah, it was, and it was the performances. Like I still think that was my, to this date, most enjoyable recording experience because it was so, like lax isn't the right word. It was so organic and natural, and the performances like came out in a natural manner, not in this like we're doing like 6 takes in a row of.
We were all in one kind of small room, and it was just a vibey.
Crushing New York fries for lunch, farting in the control booth. Like that's what you wanted to tape, and it's like, it was a really like, it was like, I think I'd made like a record the week after that with another original band of mine, and it was just like kind of like the opposite in the sense that we were just like, it was 2 days and it was like the most exhausting experience of my life. Not that it wasn't like, it was different, but it was so exhausting. Just like trying to nail everything.
It's really hard to find the balance of like doing what you want to do to get like the sounds you want versus like getting the atmosphere and the vibe you want.
I mean, I personally think all that stuff comes with sounds and like being comfortable. Like vibe is just like being comfortable. That's like you can make a record to tape, but it's not going to sound old and greasy unless you guys sound old and greasy.
True.
And it's a vibe. Like it's sounding old and greasy in a studio. It's so different than sounding old and greasy live. It's just like there's like, it's an energy you have to try to kind of recreate.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we get to do that.
We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Speaking of our second record, with no vibe. No.
No, yeah, and that record, it was terrible. It was like Joel had us in there, like after hours. It was like, no, this isn't the take. It was like working with like
Yeah.
David Foster or something. It's brutal, man.
Yeah, exactly. I just was like, yeah, no, we're gonna stay here till we get
Whiplash.
Yeah.
With Whiplash with the sequel.
it. I don't care if the cheese platter's gone. We're not leaving.
You just ate it in front of us while we were like shitting
Yeah.
on takes. You were just like, cheeses for closers, man. Like it's.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Play a solo that sounds like it deserves to be on a record, and then you get some brie.
Well, let's play something off that record.
Yeah, let's. Well, I'm thinking we could play the tune you and I wrote, and Rich can hang in there. You've played this one once before. Do you remember Capybara Walk?
I think so.
It's in B flat. Goes to F.
That's fine.
It's
That's
gonna be
all
great.
right.
It's gonna be great. It starts with like
Sing it, Rosemount.
starts with like a 2/5 walk up.
Let me get my sound.
Yeah, get your sounds, man.
All right. Oh.
We have time in the studio, man. Look, get your sounds. Cool. So let's do it. This is a song called Capybara Walk. If you've watched some JV's Boogaloo streams before, you've probably heard it. But you should check it out on the record that we made. Kelly Jefferson played on it, and he played the dickens out of it. So
Yeah, I remember doing that like every take. It was just like I can't like it was just like everyone was just like equally as good.
that's what's crazy about a guy who's that good is like I go into the studio and do 3 takes so that one of them will be good.
Yeah.
Whereas Kelly does it so that there's 3 good ones and you get to pick your favorite one.
Yeah, it's even worse. Like I would just want now I have to like listen to them and all
Yeah.
that. Like come on, you're making
Now
my
I have
job
to
harder.
like it sucks. I have to cut 2 of these solos. Like yeah. Yeah, totally. It's crazy. Kelly, if you're out there, can't wait to play with you someday. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Capybara Walk, everybody. You know what the vibe we were joking about, like having the two guitars and having a Wolfpack vibe. We should have played a Stuff song.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What,
two-
well, I mean, what, do you want to play a stuff song? I know a bunch of stuff.
I kind of know that one. No, but I would need to be. Yeah. We just did that. Never. I don't know. You guys never played that song before.
Well, I played that song last week actually. So. That's a funny stuff song where the studio version is faster than the live version.
Right.
Yeah, and if you listen to that live version of Montreux, they're all coming off of a plane. So
I've
probably,
never heard the studio.
Neither
version.
have I.
It's
I only know that concert.
it's fast. Like it's
Yeah.
it's super fast. I wonder
Well,
why.
that's funny because then they go into like the really fast signed seal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. Love that
band,
band stuff.
good
I was just hearing the like 2 clean guitars playing like sparse,
Oh, we
but
should have
thought
just
out
done a
parts and
stuff night.
could have just done an all stuff night. But then I would have had to play piano and try to sound like Richard T and things.
We would no. You need a bass player for that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Just doing this. Doesn't really translate to the organ.
Yeah, that must be that. I mean, I find playing stuff as a challenge with just one guitar player. I couldn't imagine having to, like, they're a real sum of all their parts. Like everyone's kind of doing the thing there.
You kind of There's some bands where you could take a piece out and like you're missing it, but like the thing that makes it good is still there. I
Yeah.
feel like with stuff, if you take anything out, it's like, well, now it sucks.
Yeah. Now it's just Gad's gang.
Okay. Well, listen, this has been fun.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming. And I should maybe just say, because I think this is going to be the last one of these for a little while. Oh, were there any questions before I take us out, Lonnie?
I asked a few minutes ago, no one's come back with anything yet, so maybe the next 20 seconds.
That's fine. Honestly, the questions, sometimes they go somewhere good, and sometimes...
It's a tough one, opening it up to the audience. That's a lot of trust there.
I know. And, like, there's some people out there that I trust, but, you know, there's a lot of people I don't. Let's be real.
It's a Mexican Fender Strat that's a Pro Junior. The reverb's coming from a Strymon Flint, and it's a
Pickups?
Wampler compressor. It's a Lawler pickups.
Okay.
Lawler vintage blackface, I think.
What,
Okay.
string gauge?
11s.
Okay,
There you go. So that's
11s.
probably all the interesting stuff about me right there.
But so this is so Jeff, Rich, and I have done 10 of these 6 Feet From Stardoms, and it's been super fun. And especially in the spring, when we were in like full lockdown, it was pretty like essential for my sanity to do this show. So I want to thank everyone who helped me. First of all, you people by watching, thank you. Especially you people who tip and tip frequently. You guys know who you are, and I really, really appreciate that, because I especially like to make sure the guests get paid, and it just made it possible for me to do this. I want to thank Vince Bertucci, our guest last week, but also the guy who lends me the board that allows sound to happen for the show, so we can have individual mics on things. That's been great. I want to thank Jeff and Rich for playing every week. The show doesn't have much of a budget, I'll be honest with you. They're kind of just doing it because they're cool guys, and for the most part, like if there's tip money to go around, I give it to them. I'm not hoarding it or anything, but yeah, I'm not a monster. But if you see me driving around in a new car, I swear it wasn't because of the show. But no, they've been like learning songs and showing up just for the love of playing music, even though they're both guys who are used to being paid for those services and should be paid for those services. So don't think you can get away with it, because you're not good friends with them like I am. Anyways, thanks to Rich and Jeff. And of course, big time thanks. Anyone who's watching, please just in the comments, give a word of thanks to our host, David Lonergan, a.k.a. Lonnie, a.k.a. No GNU is a good GNU. Yeah, round of applause for Lonnie. He sets up the mics. He does hours of work every week, and he does it all out of the kindness of his own heart, just to help musicians out and share the music and get it out there. And we really appreciate you, Lonnie. Thank you so much. Go Habs, go Habs. I feel like it would be anticlimactic now to take questions. After all that, we are going to play one more song though with Adam, and I hope we get back to just playing boogaloo shows in the real world.
We will,
and I think we will. This is a song that I think is appropriate for this moment. the pandemic's been tough, but things are going to get easier.
Oh, nice. Good call.
It's an F. Walk down to the B flat.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your world is much brighter. Someday, we'll walk in the rays of the beautiful sun. Someday when your head is much lighter.
Thanks again so much. Thanks, Adam, for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
Fun to play. It was beautiful. And yeah, thanks so much for watching the first season of 6 Feet From Stardom. That was episode 10. We're going to wrap it up. Who knows? I may never do this again, but it was a lot of fun. So I certainly hope I do. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your support, everybody. And we'll see you when we see